Hello students. Today's topic in the lecture series of software engineering is basic concept of software design and architectural design. Okay, so the content of this slide is software design. What is SDD and what are the characteristics of SDD? Okay, design process concept, architectural design, and architecture design process. So before going on the software design, I want to discuss in the lecture series I have discussed the major topics, that is your basic concept of software engineering and the different model of software engineering and the whole process of requirement engineering. And we know that after the discussion with the customer and the whole requirement engineering process, now we get one more document that is known as your SRS document. Okay, I am mentioning SRS document. Okay, software requirement specification document. After the software requirement engineering process, we can do the software design. And I can say in that also that after getting the SRS document, we can go for the design. Okay, so what is design? So designing is to convert your requirement into such a form that coder can implement that. Okay, you have the SRS document. So software design has to transform the requirement into such form, in the suitable form by which coder can code and implement. Okay, second and the most important thing, that the aim of this designing is basically for both, I mean to say for the customer and for the designer. Okay, so objective of the designing is to solve the problem that is given by the customer. Okay, so it is more creative as compared to the analysis and problem solving activity we follow. So three things we come here, we note down there, that your designing is to convert your SRS document in such a form which is able to code, by which a developer able to code. Second thing, it is more creative. Third thing, it is we use the problem solving approach. Okay, next is that it is very different from the requirement. Designing is not the part of requirement analysis. Okay, so we know that after doing the requirement engineering, we develop a document that is known as the SRS document. Okay, so same, after doing the design phase, we also develop a document that is known as SDD, software design document. Okay, that document, what is the objective of that document is that the objective of that document is for the developer and for the customer. For the customer, he is able to design, he is able to understand the concept of the design, and the programmer will able to develop the code according to the design. Okay, so what are the basic things that we have to use, and we are concerned about developing the software design document. So there maybe there in the designing phase, there may be a requirement of the different module. Okay, what are the module is the subsystem or the sub part of your software. Okay, so there may be a requirement of different modules, so we have to mention in our document what are the controls between these module, control relationships, what are the interface we use in these different module, what is the data structure that we use in this module. Okay, and the algorithm for the each and individual module. Okay, so module is a subsystem where we can say that the module is a part of the software that is completely independent and complete. Complete in the sense the module can work alone. Okay, it is workable subsystem and independent. I hope you are able to understand. So I have already discussed. So software design means how. How means I am saying two questions, that what and how. Okay. So what is answered by the requirement engineering. Okay. What means what I have to develop. That answer is given by the SRS document in the requirement engineering, that what I have to develop. And the how we built, how we built. Okay, how we build the system, that is answered in the software design. And the answer, this is the question, how we build, and the answer is the SDD, that is software design document. Okay, so in this form we can say our problem is solved. Okay, what is the problem that we have to discuss in the requirement engineering, and how we will develop the system by which we can solve the problem is a concern in the software design. Okay. Next we are discussing what is not design. Okay, in some persons, students have confusion that we have already discussed the use cases, we have already discussed the diagrams, and what is designing. So designing is not programming. Okay, so design is not programming, coding is not designing. Okay, designing is not a part of requirement. Okay, where the requirement end, design will start. Okay, so requirement, how will you decide that requirement is end? You will decide I'm sorry. So you will decide when you get the SRS document, then okay, the requirement is finishes, and design will start. Again I am saying this is a very important line. Requirement is what system is supposed to do. Okay, and design is how the system is built, how you develop the system. Okay, so this is very important part, this is very important line. uh, don't be confused. Designing is how we develop that system which is able to solve problem that is given by the customer. This is the very important line. Okay, so how we will get a complete design, a refined design, or the correct one, whatever you want to say. So first we have the initial requirement. Okay, after gathering all the user requirement, we will analyze the requirement data. Okay, so when we gather all the design, we will able to analyze them, whatever the data we have. Okay, we will analyze them, we will check them, we will study them. Okay, then we are able to design a high level design. Okay, so there is a question is high level design. High level design is kind of overall designing where the detailing is not mentioned. Okay, so this. Okay, so when we analyze all the requirement document, we are able to design high level design. Then we have to validate that design we have developed, is the design is aligned to your customer requirement. Is that requirement uh, that requirement is given by the customer, the requirement and your design are aligned, or your design is able to solve the problem that is given by the customer. You will analyze the requirement data for this validating, obtain your answer, and then again you will check, I mean to say refine. That refine means you will check, is there any error, is there any duplicacy, these all kind of thing you will refine. And again you will check, is the design document that you have developed is aligned or is able to answer the question, is able to solve the problem, then we will obtain the answer, and then we will check, or whatever the thing is that we have, okay, done, we have complete our document, and in this form the complete document is finished. Okay, I hope this diagram is very important. It is the one of the important diagram. When you see the books, this diagram will come to your face, in front of eyes, I'm sorry, you will see all the time. Whenever you type the software design, you will get this image. This image is very important, and you have to go with the cycle sometime if the answer is not according to your design. Okay, sometime it may possible your high level design, when you validate that from the analyzed data, you get the answer that your design is not able to solve the problem, then you have to again, you have to correct the design. Okay, so software design, a designer has a dual responsibility. Dual responsibility means the designer has to satisfy the customer as well as developer. Customer in the sense that customer will check how will system will work, and how, what are the option I am able to see, what are the requirements of the hardware, whatever I have to do. So conceptual, I mean to say, conceptual design is to satisfy the customer, and the technical design to satisfy the developer. I will see in the I will show you in the next slide. Okay, but for the technical and the conceptual design, here the designer has a dual responsibility to satisfy the both of them. Okay, so uh, that I am discussing, that conceptual design for the customer and technical design for the developer. Okay, you, I can say here coder. Okay, so conceptual design, what means what your design is able to do, and technical is how you will develop that. Okay, how you will develop your design into the code, and what your design is able to do. Okay, so in both part, designer has to work. Okay, with the dual responsibility. Okay, so next question is, what are the conceptual design or what is the technical design? So first we will discuss the conceptual design. Conceptual design, whatever the data processing there will be, so from where data will come, what will happen to the data in the system, how the system, how the software will look, what is the interface, okay, user graphical interface kind of thing. Okay, what are the options the user have. Okay, so how the output screen will look, how is the report will look. Okay, how we can get this particular report. Okay, so these kind of scenario will come in the conceptual design. So how we can use the software, or what is the data, where it come from, what will do, what will happen. Okay, so these are come in the conceptual designs. Okay, so next is technical design. So in the technical design, what is the software requirements, communication interface, what are the input and output devices of the system, how the system architecture is developed, what is the network architecture, and anything that is required for the customer problem, whatever the thing is needed in the technical ground, that is discussed in the technical design. Okay, communication interface, communication architecture, network architecture, hardware configurations, whatever the technical things will handle in the technical design. Okay, I hope everything is clear to you. Okay, so here we see that the design document is very important to implement, or I can say to code. So what are the characteristics of that SDD? And that means software design document. That document should be correct and complete. Okay, it should be understandable, there is no ambiguity, there is no confusion while analyzing, while reading that document. Okay, so it should be understandable at the right level. I hope you have studied the DFD. So in the DFD you will see the level 0, level 1, level 2, according to the processes. So, okay, so on the right level, the design document is complete or written. Okay, it should be maintainable. Is there any modification through the customer side or any updation, then there is the capability in the document that it can be maintained. Okay, so these are the characteristic, these are the expectation from the document while study the document. Okay, so this is the expectation of the developer also. When the coder is implement the design document, then his expectation, the document should be complete and correct. Okay, so the transformation of data comes from the customer in the form of problem statement. The data will convert into the information through the requirement engineering process, and the document is known as the SRS. And that SRS document is convert into the design. Okay, so first informal design outline they created. Okay, so then informal design will created, then more formally, and then we will finish the document. We will go in the loop or cycle till then. Till then we cannot finish the document. Okay, we have to go to the whole process. Okay, our objective is one, we have we our goal is only one, we have to achieve a complete, a correct, a high quality document design which is able to code. Okay, which has the capability by which anyone means the uh, customer can understand, and the developer can develop the code. Okay, so what are the design concept? It is very important, please listen carefully, this is the very important topic. Okay, so in the design concept we will check these are the basic concept. Okay, so first is abstraction. Abstraction is to hiding the detailing. Okay, to hide the detail of the process, to reduce the complexity and increase the efficiency. How I can say that? Okay, by hiding the detailing, we can uh, increase the efficiency. Okay, I hope you have seen the mobile charger. Okay, so mobile charger has a complex chip. If you break the charger, you will remove the cover, you can see the complexity of the chip and integrated chip. Okay, small connections of the electricity wires, whatever the thing is. So by covering that through a cover, okay, so you are not able to see the complexity of that, and you can easily use that. Okay, because okay, second is, if I am using that cover, it is giving the protection, okay, to the mobile charger. So abstraction is to hide the detailing and the complex scenarios, complex processes. Okay, modularity is to divide your system into subsystem. Okay, different software, a small software I can say. So modularity is to divide your problem into a small part, you know, and the independent problem or independent module is able to solve the problem by themselves. Okay, so I am saying the a single module is independent and complete. So refactoring is to reconstruct, Refactoring is reconstruct a module in such a way by which in the system there are many modules. Okay, so refactoring is to develop a new module or update a module, okay, in such a way the effect of the new reconstruct module, the effect of that module will not go on any module. Okay, if I am doing some changes into the module, imagine, so it would not affect to any module. Okay, by which we are able that we doesn't have to track that what is the problem by the updations or the reconstructions. Okay, information hiding is for the security purpose. uh, Hiding the information by which any unwanted person, any unwanted party cannot access the information of your software, that is known as the information hiding. Pattern means while you are designing you will check that there are the multiple times of you are using the same process, it may possible. So what you will do, you will check that what is the problem which has a common solution, and you will use that particular, you will not give solution to each and every problem, you will use a common solution for each and every problem. I can take an example of authentication. Imagine you are using library management system, there are two or three kind of person, one is the librarian, second is the admin, and third is a user. In this case, user, librarian, and admin both we need the authentication for three of them. Okay, so if we use the authentication process of user, we use authentication process for admin, we use authentication process for librarian. Apart from this, we can do that, we will use a common solution, we will use one authentication for each and everyone. Okay, so pattern is to find out the similarity, okay, and to refine them. Refine means to check what are the errors, what are the impurities, and remove those impurities and errors. Okay, and last is your architecture. Architecture is to develop the overall structure of the software. Okay, so overall structure designing is in the under the architecture. So how the design process concept will go. Okay, so from the SRS document, so this is your SRS document, software requirement specification document. We will get the architectural design, then abstraction specification, then design interface, and then component design, then data structure design, and in the end we will got the algorithm design. That is very important for the developer. By algorithm, he is, I mean developer or coder, is very comfortable. Okay, so developer can easily develop the code through the algorithm. Okay, so in the design process, architectural design is to identify the subsystem, that means overall structure. Okay, abstract specification is to specify the subsystem. Subsystem is, I'm hearing saying module. Okay, a subsystem is module. Okay, so interface, how the subsystem will interface to each other. Component, uh, uh, component, the subsystem is divided into small component that can easily develop, and the what is the data structure is suitable for the problem, we will decide in the data structure designing. In the algorithm designing, we will solve, we will develop a algorithm for the problem solving. Okay, so in the architectural design, we are represent the link between the SRS and the design process. Okay, where the requirement finish, the design start, that link is the architectural design. It is start in the actually the designing start from the architectural design. overall structure, what is the overall structure of the system, and it involves the find out the what are the major components and their communications. Okay, so that is known as an architecture to overall designing, for the overall designing of the software. So this is the major objective of architecture I am discussing again, because that is important. The overall structure development is come under the architectural design to identify the major components of the system and divide into subsystem, identify the subsystem basically, and what is their communication. The first thing that we will start in the designing, that is architectural design. Okay, basically architectural design has the three processes. Okay, what are the three processes? System structuring, control modeling, and modular decomposition. So system structuring is to identify the subsystem, and what and the communication between the subsystem is identified. That is comes under the system structuring. In the control structuring, to control the relationship between these subsystem is established. Okay, I hope you know the controlling. Okay, so, and third is your modular decomposition. When you have identified the subsystem, that subsystem is decomposed into module in such a way that the individual module is complete and independent. Okay, I hope now you are able to understand all these things. Uh, any question you can mention? Okay, okay. Thank you.